Peace, family. What up? In Google now you see R&M RBG TV here, March 22nd, 2015. UNIA ACL Division 432. Y'all see what it is? African Poetry Theater, right here, 176, Jamaica Ave. Feel what I'm saying? See the address? So you get the address, see this? This is where we are, family. Make sure you come down every fourth Sunday, 4 o'clock p.m. 176 in Jamaica, family. That's where we at. All right. Let's take on a step inside and see what's up. Peace, Drip. All right. Yo, if you got time, come through, man. It's good community information right here. All right.
All right.
Cool. Welcome to 432, family. It's the inside right here. Yes, sir.
Okay, did everyone get a copy of the agenda?
Yes.
Okay. Brother in Google, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
We need 7 people, so that's why I was waiting for you to come.
Oh, I apologize. I'm right here.
Yeah. Now we're doing item number 2, reading of minutes. This is from the February 8th Division 432 in Harlem meeting. Meeting started at 5:30 p.m. Brother Raymond was the keynote speaker. He began by comparing the Suez Canal with the Panama Canal and discussed the big ditch. This project, oh, how you doing, Charles? Welcome. This project was started by the French. It was 48 miles long and 10 miles wide. Brother Raymond reminded us that Panama and Colombia was one country. The French failed at their attempt to build this canal. The U.S. then decided to take up this task, but first needed to separate Panama from Colombia. A revolution was created in 1903 by an organized force supported by the U.S. The next day, Panama was recognized as a new country by the U.S. The U.S. has been there from then to now. Marcus Garvey was in Panama in 1911 and created a plan for Pan-Africanism. Brother Duguay discussed Martin Delany, the father of Pan-Africanism, one of the first Africans to go to Harvard Medical School. Henry Garnett, another father of Pan-Africanism, believed the only solution is to go back to Africa. Others discussed include Alexander Crummell, Edward Blyden, Bishop Henry McNeill Turner, and J. Robert Love. Brother Raymond went on to speak of Dr. Love, who was born in the Bahamas, moved to Florida, then attended medical school in Buffalo. He then moved to Haiti and spent 10 years there. He played a major role in educating Garvey on Haiti while in Kingston. Henry Sylvester Williams, born in Trinidad, became a lawyer and moved to South Africa. He was also Pan-Africanist. Brother Raymond reminded us that the difference between the Pan-Africans before Garvey and Garvey was that Garvey was not trying to please white folks. We were reminded that Garvey was born on August 17, 1987 in St. Anne's Bay, Jamaica. He tried to organize people and realized that he needed capital.
1887? You said 1987.
Oh. That is correct. Let it be noted that it has been revised to 1887. He tried to organize people and realized that he needed capital. Thank you, Victor. He left Jamaica, went to Costa Rica, then to Panama, where he started another newspaper. He then visited most of South America. He went to England in 1912 and there met Ali and Wallace. Garvey left England and went back to Jamaica. July 20th, 1914, he established the UNIA ACL. Brother Raymond reminded us that Garvey was in communication with Booker T. Washington. Garvey was impressed by Booker T's concept of industrial education. He came to the U.S. and realizes that black people are better off economically in this country than anywhere else in the world. Garvey had 2 objectives, race upliftment and self-reliance. By 1920, Garvey was able to lead the UNIA in organizing the first international convention of the Negro world for 31 days in August. In that convention, over 25,000 Africans attended. The Constitution was then created and we produced our flag, red, black, and green. This is wrong. 1919, Garvey led the UNIA in organizing the Black Star Line. This concept was picked up by Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana in 1958. Meeting then went on to a cultural presentation with Brother Atiba and drummers, all who are members of the UNIA. Meeting concluded with our anthem. Baba Shem, do you agree to put this official?
I make a motion that we accept the minutes with the necessary correction as read.
Second. You second it. Good. So this will be put into our books. Okay, thank you. Item number 3. Has anyone ever heard of the famous Dr. Ben?
Yes, sir.
He passed away March 19th. That was Thursday at 3:30 in the morning. I think Brother Beckway sent me the text at maybe 9:45 to inform me that he had passed away. Let me give you a very quick story. I finished the school of engineering at City College in December of 1984. Prior to that, I was the president of the Society of Black Engineers. My last semester in the school, I was president, but before then, I was director of public relations. And this was the early 80s, and Dr. Jeffries was on the campus of City College. Dr. Clark was always there. There was the First World Alliance with Brother Bill Jones and Sister Kefa. Every Saturday up in Harlem, they had lecture series. Anyone you can think of came through those lecture series. C. Vernon Mason, Alton Maddox, Dr. Asa G. Hillard, Asa G. Hillard, Henry Clark, Dr. Ben, James Smalls, who else? Richetti Wimby, you name it, they did it. And as part of the School of Engineering, every year in May we had what we call our dinner dance and so forth. Since I was graduating in December, I wouldn't be around for the next December or the next May dinner dance, which was always in May. And so, and we usually charge a fee. In those days it was $35. And so it was a whole bunch of us graduating at the same time. So we decided, you know what, since we wouldn't be around in May, and even if we did attend the function in May, we would be graduates, we would no longer be part of the school. So we decided to have our dinner dance in December. And at that time, my brother was the vice president of the day student government, my younger brother. And I asked him, you know, we'd like to do a dinner dance. Normally we charge a fee, but we decided we want to open to the community. And we did, so we were funded. Our keynote speaker was Dr. Ben. Until then, I knew Dr. Ben as an Egyptologist, or the study of Kemet. For about an hour and 10 minutes, Dr. Ben discussed engineering and architecture. I cannot tell you how blown away I was. We're talking, he went over formulas, he discussed how you build buildings, then he switched over to pyramid building. As all of us were sitting there, we're thinking, wow. That was, I think, the first time in my life that I ever made the connection, believe it or not, with intellectual adaptation and practical solutions. I really thought until that time, you know, you go to school or you become an intellectual, read and study. I never knew you could, believe it or not, it never dawned on me, that's the reason why you read and study, to apply it to everyday life, to make life better. And he was discussing engineering. And then at the end of his speech, he said, of all the things I've ever done, the one thing I am most proud of is that I'm a Garveyite.
That's right.
That's what he's, I mean, here's this guy, the top of the top in terms of the history of all the Nile Valley civilization, as well as all civilizations, who can discuss Tigris, Euphrates River, the Fertile Crescent, and then, mind you, then he discusses engineering. I mean, physical formulas, how to build, concrete, strength of materials. I said, whoa, what is this? And then he says, the greatest thing anybody can ever hope to be is a Garveyite. That was December of 1984. And I remember thinking, wow, Garvey had to be bigger than big then. If this is a giant telling me that's what the biggest thing you can imagine to be is a Garveyite. So even before I met Duncan, that was already put into my seeds of my thought. But for those of you who are not my age and who didn't attend City College, you really missed out a lot. Let me tell you, every weekend, we were in Queens, we were always going back up to Harlem. Basically, the only thing I ever did in my house was sleep. I was always at home, always. Always, because there was always something going on. Mm-hmm. And with those lecture series, and when you'd enter, you would have all the elders come in. You'd have libation at the beginning. Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody would just bow down to Dr. Ben. It was a solemn ceremony every Saturday. That was on the corner of 145th and Convent. And so, since he's passed away...
That was where his house was?
No, that's where the meeting place was for this lecture series. It was called the First World Alliance. I mean, everybody. In fact, Dr. Jacob Carruthers, who I'm going to use as the basis of our next meeting when I discuss the Haitian Revolution, he had his, what they call the book party in May of 1985, discussing that book. And everybody was there. Dr. Clark, Dr. Hillard, who was in Georgia, flew in just for that, Dr. Ben, and it was amazing. And it's unfortunate that we now aren't able to give someone like Dr. Ben the respect that he's due. I mean, really respect. And so as we find the information, we'll share it with you, because I think I will certainly have to attend. And yes.
It's real.
Yes. So, does anybody have any, Baba Shem, did you ever interact with Dr. Ben?
Well, not personally. I used to listen to his lectures. I've seen him in the street, shook his hand in the street like that. So that's about it.
Okay.
I know he was a guy. He always expressed Garveyism, because he would talk about that to the people. He would denounce them for something and then say, well, you know, I'm a Garveyite, so I don't know what the rest of you all are, but I'm standing on the principles of Marcus Garvey. And he always stressed that, and a lot of times when I heard him speak, he always stressed Garveyism as the way for us.
Brother Charles?
Two things. I saw him, I met him once at Simotap over on Rockaway. Spoke to him for a second and asked him about religion and ways of life. But I was going to ask you, the services are going to be somewhere in New York City?
Yeah, in Harlem. As soon as we get the information. Actually, Brother Beckway is part of Sons of Africa. And Dr. Jeffries was running that, but Dr. Ben was the advisor. So Beckway is actually my source. He's coming, he's stuck in Chinatown. There was some problem with the train, he had to get off, so he called me to let me know. But yeah, so Brother Beckway will be keeping me informed. But the last couple of days, friends of mine have sent me links to YouTube videos of Dr. Ben, and I spent quite a number of hours. I mean, yesterday morning, You know, I got the email, so I said, let me look at it. It
Mhm.
was 2 hours and 2 minutes. I never left it.
Mhm.
I couldn't leave it. You know, what I mean, it was just so, well, the man's passed away, so I'm giving respect, but
Right.
the information he was giving, I mean, wow. Off the top of his head, he knows these things. Like all the dynasties, all the connections, everything. It's just, it's like, it's as if, welcome, come on. Oh, Fabina, how you doing? Good. Beckway is stuck in Chinatown. There was problems with the train.
Okay.
Yeah, have a seat and sign in the sign-in sheet.
Yeah, his order.